configure and verify infrastructure security features like ACLs. The whole point of this chapter is explaining you that opposite to what routers have, that is only access control list, multi-layer switches have several kinds of access list, like MAC address access list, port access control list, and VLAN access control list. And this is due to the fact that multi-layer switches deal with layer 2 technology and layer 3 routing. So you have many options here. If you want to filter MAC addresses, you will use a MAC access control list. And if you want to have more complex filtering at the port level, you will use a port access control list. And this port access control list can include MAC address control list within, and it can include filtering layer 3 packets. So the port access control list is like a regular access list, but that you can apply to a layer 2 port, which is awesome. You can also control the frames that are getting into a VLAN within the switch and getting out of the VLAN within a switch with a VLAN access control list. The VLAN access control list and the port access control list run in the TCAM. So that is why they are said to be hardware based. So let's see the rules for each one. The MAC access control list can match MAC addresses. Only named access control lists are supported, not for IP packets. Only supported at port level, only for ingress traffic, and they cannot be run together with a port access control list in the same port. In order to configure a MAC access control list, you will use the command MAC access list, and you will apply it with MAC access group. Now the port access control list is available in a standard extended name, and it can use a extended name MAC address control list within. It is used for layer 2 ports, only for ingress traffic. It cannot filter control frames. It is hardware based. It cannot filter IPv6, ARP, or MPLS. It can only filter IPv4 or layer 4 ports and MACs. If the switch receives a dynamic access control list, it will override the port access control list. In order to configure, you will use the IP access list command and will apply it with IP access group. A VLAN access control list is similar to route map, where you have a sequence, a match, and an action. It can match IP address or MAC addresses. The action can be either forward or drop. And you can configure it with VLAN access map and apply it with and apply it with VLAN filter. So what happens if you have a combination of these for layer 2 traffic? If you are receiving traffic, layer 2 traffic, the Pacl goes first, then the Vacl. For outbound traffic, it only the Vacl gets evaluated. For layer 3 traffic, if it's coming, first the Pacl, then the Vacl, then the ACL in the SBI. And for outgoing traffic, first the ACL in the SBI, then the Vacl. Let's check this in the lab.